the playoff edition.
Arlo clears, 2-on-1, 2-on-2. Coyle misses wide. Coyle takes a stay in, and Bertuzzi gets called. Wow, for his 6th foul tonight, the first one called. What about it?
The playoff edition.
Harvey's Hot Takes. Bryan Hayes joining us from Scotiabank Arena. Bryan, I understand you were pretty close to where Jack Edwards was calling this game at Scotiabank tonight.
I was right in front of him, Jay. I was in the press box. Jack, Andy Brickley right behind me. I heard every single word Jack Edwards said tonight, and he was so excited, naturally, as he should be. I was trying to snap some pictures. I don't know. I might try to post it online. The guy, he's incredibly polarizing, but as you would know, in Boston, they love him. In Toronto, they probably don't, but I'm not sure Jack cares too much about what people up here are thinking right now.
I'm not sure that Brad Marchand cares what people are thinking about him either up here. He has absolutely been incredible again. 3 points, including the game winner in game number 3. What impressed you the most about Marchand's performance in game 3, Bryan?
He was involved in pretty much everything tonight, and he was under the skin of the Maple Leafs like he has been for over a decade. Jay, there were 2 guys that played tonight that were a part of that series in 2013. James Van Riemsdyk, he was a Maple Leaf at that point. He's a Bruin now, and then the other would be Brad Marchand. So he's been doing this to the Leafs for a long time. He was there in 13. He was there in 18. He was there in 19. And what I'm impressed by is Zdeno Chara's not here anymore. Bergeron's not here anymore. Krejci's not here anymore. Lucic isn't here anymore. But he's still carrying over the past culture that the Bruins have had for a long, long time. And, you know, obviously Leaf fans are buzzing about that Trent Frederick goal. It was not a good goal. Samsonov had to stop it. But I wonder if Samsonov was doing the same thing that 20,000 other people in the building were doing, which was watching Marchand go at it with Bertuzzi. They were going at it constantly. It was captivating. You couldn't look away. And then all of a sudden the puck's in the net. Leaf fans obviously disappointed that either Marchand didn't get one or there weren't coincidental penalties there. And I think that's a legitimate beef. But that's Brad Marchand, right? He sold the Domi slash in game 1. He sold the Bertuzzi slash in game 2. And then beyond all of that, he sets up the DeBrusk goal. He scores the winner. He scores the empty net. He was all over the ice tonight. It's a perfect example of why, if you're a Bruin fan, he's probably one of your favorite players ever. He certainly should be. And if you're a Leaf fan, he's one of the most hated players probably in modern history for the Maple Leafs. He was involved in everything tonight, and it's going to be an issue the next couple of days. They got 2 off days here in Toronto. He's going to be talking, I'm sure, constantly, and he's always playing the game. Everything he says with the media is calculated. It's all about moving in the right direction, and the Leafs didn't have an answer for him tonight. They better find one soon, because he showed up to play tonight. I didn't think he was great in game 1, wasn't great in game 2, but he's the captain of a team now that's up 2-1, and he was really good tonight, and I would assume he'll show up on Saturday for game 4.
The Leafs fall to 1-7 at home in the postseason since their Game 7 loss to Tampa in 2022. And then, Bryan, we get this tweet from longtime Leafs play-by-play man Joe Bowen after the game. The idea of going to any sporting event to support the home team is to be proactive, give the team energy when they need it, not sitting down waiting, to be reactive. The players can't say it, but I will. Tonight's crowd was very disappointing. And Bryan, he even put very disappointing in all caps for emphasis. This is quite the tweet from a guy who is beloved in this market, the voice of the Leafs. What's your take on it? And do you think that this home crowd that always seems to get piled on is actually affecting the way this team is playing on the ice?
Well, I mean, those statistics you just listed out, 1-7 recently at home, those are shocking statistics. That's an embarrassing statistic for the hockey team, but also for the fan base, of course. And I love Joe Bowen. Joe Bowen is the voice of the Leafs. I love the Capitals to really emphasize the tweet, too. It really hammers it home. But this has never been the chicken or the egg in Toronto. And what I mean by that is the fans generally wait for the team to supply them with action. And there were multiple times tonight where this crowd was rocking. There were sequences in the second period. Ryan Reeves stepped up with a massive hit. Pasternak got rocked by Simone Benoit. This place was going crazy. When Matthew Nye scored, this place was going crazy. The problem is the team could not allow it to carry over because when Nye scored, Frederick came right back and tied the game up. When Morgan Riley off Bertuzzi scores to tie the game up, this place was going crazy. Yes, they were reacting, but still, it was very, very loud. 18 seconds later, Brad Marchand scores, and all of a sudden this place goes quiet. And again, it speaks to the history. We were talking about this a couple of nights ago. This team has a history of deflating efforts, of losing. The fan base is well aware of it. The fan base has a lot of anxiety. They want to believe in this team. They want to see wins. They want to, I believe, get loud and carry this all the way throughout the spring, but they constantly wait for the fans. So I understand what Joe Bowen's saying. I understand it. They have this reputation. It can be quiet at times, but it was loud when they scored tonight, when it was physical tonight. The problem is the Bruins did a very good job of immediately quieting them down. And once you get quiet in here, once you can feel it get quiet, it gets very nervous. There's a really low-energy vibe in here. Yeah. It probably does seep onto the bench. It probably doesn't help the team, but it's on the team to try to circle back and get them rocking again. And listen, Saturday night, it's an 8 p.m. Eastern time start. Saturdays are different, a little bit later start. I expect it to be loud in here, but they're down 2-1. The Leafs are down 2-1. Leaf fans are going to be nervous while they're walking in the building on Saturday night.
Let's see. Let's see if they can bring that noise, that energy on Saturday night, just like Harvey's has been serving Canadians delicious burgers for 65 years. Bryan Hayes has been serving hot takes since 1983, the year the Leafs lost in the first round to the Minnesota North Stars. Bryan, you're the best.
You're the best, Jay. I think Joe Bowen was calling those games back in '83.